With the Go Fox die, you can add an adorable animal to any project. This fun applique die comes with 6 shapes to construct a full and lovable fox. The 5x10 die board means that you can cut up to 4 layers of pre-fused fabric using any Go fabric cutter. To make this cute animal even sweeter, you can personalize each one using the free downloadable embroidery designs available on the AccuQuilt website or the designs available for purchase. Think about pairing this clever creature with other animal Go applique dies alongside Go cubes, Go square dies, or Go project dies to create playful wall hangings, darling pillows, and more. The creative possibilities with this applique die are limitless because at AccuQuilt we help you cut time so you can quilt more. Are you or someone you love an avid quilter? Meet the Ready, Set, Go ultimate fabric cutting system. This fabric cutter takes the strain out of fabric cutting, meaning less chance of injury and better quilts made faster. The ultimate fabric cutting system includes the Go, our innovative fabric cutter with an easy-to-turn handle that makes cutting fabric safer, faster, and more accurate. This 15-pound fabric cutter has a carrying handle and folding mechanism, so it's portable and easy to store. The Ready, Set, Go also includes the Go Cube Mix and Match 8-inch block, which features 8 dies of commonly used geometric shapes and the corresponding cutting mat. The Go Cube Mix and Match system has endless pattern possibilities, but it comes with a 16-page pattern book with 2 quilt patterns to get you started. We like to say the Ready, Set, Go is the ultimate fabric cutting system because it truly comes with everything you need. That includes our Go strip cutter, 2.5-inch, which finishes to a 2-inch finish strip, a corresponding cutting mat to make cutting binding strips easier than ever. We've even included a die pick to make die maintenance painless. To help quilters feel confident on their quilting journey, we've also included the Go Cube Mix and Match blocks and quilt pattern book by Eleanor Burns. It's packed with tips and tricks in addition to inspiration. Look at some of the beautiful projects you can create with this ultimate fabric cutting system. At AccuQuilt, we want to spread the joy of quilting to all, and the Go makes cutting fabric easier than traditional scissors or rotary cutting. AccuQuilt, because cutting time means quilting more. ultimate fabric cutting experience, you need the Go Big in your sewing space. This all-electric fabric cutter is hands-free, making it the cutter for those with physical limitations. The Go Big is safe, easy to use, and is compatible with every die in our Go collection. That's more than 250 dies. The wide opening allows you to run 2 6-inch wide dies through at once, upping your efficiency and lowering your cutting time. Though it's our widest Go cutter, the Go Big is still portable and features a handle to make it easy to store or travel with. When you buy the Go Big electric starter set, you get the Go Big fabric cutter, the 3x6-inch finish Go Flying Geese die, a cutting mat, and 5 fabulous patterns. Look at some of these beautiful projects you can create with a Go Big. The Go Big has all the perks of AccuQuilt's amazing Go product line with none of the manual work. Don't give up your quilting craft. Go big. AccuQuilt, because cutting time means quilting more.
I'm Lynn Gibney, AccuQuilt's Chief Brand and Product Officer, and I want to welcome all of you to our show today. We hope to inspire you with projects perfect for the graduate or father in your lives. And with both of these coming up soon, we thought this would be the perfect time to talk about them. But first, let me introduce you to your hosts for today, Pam and Erica.
Hi, Thank you, Lynn.
It's exciting
We're
to
happy
be here.
to be here
This
with
is
our
so
bow
great.
ties.
I know we have our little cute bow ties.
Well, welcome everyone. Like Lynn said, today we're going to be featuring projects perfect for dads and grads in your life. Plus, we'll be joined by our special guest star, Ricky Timms, who will share some special inspiration and his story of quilting with his dad. Now, Ricky is known in the international world of quilting as a best-selling author, enthusiastic, encouraging teacher, a fabric designer, spellbinding speaker, and his innovative and entertaining presentations feature live music and humor, great scholarly insights and wisdom. He's so fun.
He's amazing.
His quilts have been displayed worldwide and are highly regarded as excellent examples of contemporary quilts with traditional appeal.
I am so looking forward to hearing his story of quilting. He is not the only guest we have joining us today. We also have one of our go-getters, Emily, joining us, and she's going to give us some great ideas on how to create signature blocks for those grads.
That's right.
We thought it was important to recognize both of these topics during the show, and I know how you are both history buffs.
We are.
Yes.
So I came prepared for this show with some history facts on both Father's Day and graduation. So, Pam, did you know that the nation's first Father's Day was celebrated in 1910 in the state of Washington?
My home state.
But it wasn't until 1972 that Father's Day became a nationwide holiday in the U.S.
That's right, and I did know that. And did you know that it was 58 years after Mother's Day was made official. So good choice there, whoever chose Mother's Day first.
All right, well, I didn't know that, but okay, Erica, I've got one for you too.
Okay.
Did you know that graduate originates from the Latin word gradus, which means to take a degree or step?
Actually, Lynn, as a journalism major, I did know that. And my father was a librarian, and his master's gown is hanging behind us on
Isn't
the
that
set
so fun?
from when he was a faculty member. So, but I definitely give you an A+ for trying.
There you go. An A+ for sure. Now, quilters, we have so much planned for you today, so let's get into it. I can't wait to share some of the amazing stories that we have that are sure to give you some ideas for some really fun projects.
We also have some special experts today who will be sharing their inspirational ideas. And of course, the opportunity for you to vote on your favorite one. It's going to be a lot of fun, ladies.
As always, at AccuQuilt, we are working tirelessly to inspire makers around the world to experience the joy of quilting, helping you cut fabric in a way that is fast, easy, accurate, and safe.
So let's get this show started.
That's right. As always, we've got great prizes for you, an inspirational trunk show, and special offer only available today.
All right, so I'm going to step out and let you both get started.
Okay.
I'm so excited to see what all you have in store for us today, so have a great show.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you,
see you back
Lynn.
in a little bit, Lynn.
We'll make you come back.
All right, quilters, today it's all about both Father's Day and graduations.
That's right.
Since graduations are coming up first, let's start there. How does that sound?
Perfect.
All right. Now, Erica and I said we were going to start with graduation first. So
Yes.
what's the first thing you think of when you think of graduation and quilts?
Signature block.
Yep.
Okay, I love the idea of being able to write a little message on something that you're going to have that's going to stick with that grad
Yes.
forever. And we actually have a specific shape in the cube companion corners that is called a signature block that does just that.
That's right, and we'll be talking about that in just a minute. But signature block is exactly what came to the mind of one of our go-getters, Emily Tyndale. Emily actually has 5 blocks to share with us that make great signature blocks. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Emily from Homemade Emily Jane. Today I'm going to share with you 5 quilt blocks that are perfect for using if you're making a signature memory quilt. Signature memory quilts are when people sign either their names or a message on each block of the quilt, and they're perfect for a special event such as a wedding, graduation, or retirement party. Any of these quilt blocks that I share with you can be made with any size mix and match cube using your AccuQuilt cutting machine. The first quilt block I want to share with you is a sawtooth star block. This one is a reverse sawtooth star where you would put your background fabric or your lighter, either a white or a cream fabric, as the star, and then use the colors of your quilt, the prints or the solids, as the outside of the star. This leaves a really great space in the center of the block for your signatures, for people to write their messages on the quilt block itself. Next up, if you're looking for a very easy and simple quilt block to use for a signature memory quilt, you might consider using an uneven 9 patch. This one's really fun to do. I would suggest having the signatures be in the large center square, and then you can have the outside corners either the same color as the center square or a different color altogether, and you can do it scrappy or have them all be the same color for the outside pieces. Whatever you choose, it comes together really fast and is super easy. You can definitely use any size cube for these because the center square is pretty large. Next quilt block that has a good size center square is an economy quilt block. Again, you can make this with any size cube. The economy quilt block would feature one color that goes directly outside the center square and then a second color that goes on the outer corners, and then put them all together into a quilt. Next up is the depression quilt block. The depression block has a slightly smaller center square, so I would only suggest doing this if you're using a larger size cube, like maybe the 10-inch or the 12-inch cube. This is a 10-inch block, and it has a good size square for people to sign their message in the center. But then from afar, if you have a lot of these blocks together, it's still a very dynamic and engaging pieced quilt. And the final block I want to share with you today is called the airplane quilt block. This is unique in that it actually has 4 spaces where people could sign for the memory quilt. So it would be perfect if you have a lot of people that you want to get to sign, such as like for a retirement and having everyone's coworkers sign or something along those lines. So again, this is the airplane quilt block, and it is also a good one to use for bigger size cubes such as the 10-inch, which I used here, or maybe even the 12-inch. I hope you're inspired to make one of these 5 quilt blocks for your next memory quilt using your AccuQuilt. If you want more information about how to make a memory quilt, be sure to check out my website, homemadeemilyjane.com, and type in the search box memory quilt for a blog post that I have all about memory quilt tips and tricks.
Oh, wow, those are great.
Yeah, great block ideas. Now that was our go-getter, Emily Tyndale. AccuQuilt go-getters are a team of talented quilters, as you could see from that
She
clip.
is, very much so.
Absolutely. Who are also sewists and fabric creators, and they use the Go fabric cutters and dies to make beautiful projects and patterns to share with you.
They're just phenomenal.
Yeah.
You can learn more about this team of quilting influencers by visiting learn.accuquilt.com/go-getters. I feel like we're a go-getter. We go get stuff all the time.
We go get stuff, that's
Okay.
right. And if you just joined us, we'll be meeting up with our special guest, Ricky Timms, in just a little bit. Now, he is having a snowstorm where he is in Colorado.
He is in Colorado. Here in Nebraska, it's nice and sunny, but thanks to the beauty of the internet, we're going to talk with him here in a few minutes.
That's
okay?
right.
All right, so quilters, let's take a minute and talk about the signature block shape that can be found in our Go Cube Companion Set corners.
Right.
Now, this is a hugely popular block. So corners, we're going to open it up here. We're going to use our 12-inch because that gives us the biggest block.
Right.
So I'm going to, Emily says the 10-inch or the 12-inch cubes, that's going to work great, okay? So we're going to pull out the skinny one first so we don't break a nail. Inside there's a mat and a pattern book. Remember, all of these same parts come in every size of our companion set corners.
Right.
We have 6 sizes starting from 4 inches. Okay, and then let's pull out the shapes.
All righty.
Now, you need to make sure you have the original cube before you add the companion sets because you're going to need those shapes to work.
That's right, that's right. And we'll show you how that works.
All right, so the first 2 shapes, the first one is the chisel shape. So this is a really great block, and we have a sample of a block that I made.
Here's a block that you made, and that floral fabric up at the corner on either one that goes against that chisel to make it a rectangle is shape number 5 from our mix and match cube. So again, that's why we call shape 5 our workhorse, right?
Yes, always. And the chisel shape is actually directional. So if you want all of your chisels going one direction, place your fabric up. If you want them going different directions, put them back. Yep, back and forth. All right. So now this, ta-da, is the star of our show today.
Yes.
This is our signature block. We're going to talk about it in a minute, so I'm just going to take it out.
We're just going to leave him out. Here's the other. Here's the next one.
Here's the next group. Now, these 2 dies actually work together to make, oh, look, bow ties. We did not use them to make our bow ties, but you can certainly make bow ties with them.
And this is what those bow ties would look like.
Look how fun that is.
Look how fun.
Now, Erica, you can also make another shape with these 2 dies.
You can also use this for a snowball.
Right.
And so you would, if you look at the die, the 11.1, you would put these just on the corners, and that would make a snowball shape.
Those fun little half square triangles, okay? So those are the 4 shapes in the Cube Companion Set corners, okay?
Right.
And remember, all the shapes are the same in every cube. They're just different sizes.
That's right.
All right, now, Erica, we're going to focus just on shape number 10 today.
Okay.
So should we talk about it?
Let's do. So again, this is another block that is going to use our friend shape number 5 on either side to make it into a block.
Yes.
And again, the block that we're making then with this is going to equal shape number 1 in our mix and match shapes.
Right.
And again, this is the 12-inch.
So we built in that 1/4-inch seam allowance for you. We gave you specialized dog ears on those half square triangles.
Let's cut one and show everybody how it goes together.
All right, so remember, quilters, when we're cutting, we want that lengthwise grain to go back and forth across the die board. How come, Erica?
Because when it goes through the cutter, it kind of goes over like a speed bump.
Yes.
And we want it, we love our fabric.
Yes.
Pam and I love our fabric. We want it to have the smoothest ride and get the most accurate cut every time.
Right, so I've just subcut my fabric. This is that lengthwise grain, and we can cut up to 6 layers of cotton every time in our cutters. Make sure you have the appropriate size mat, because what happens if you try to use a die without a mat?
Absolutely nothing.
Now, this is on a 10 by 10 die board, so it would fit in our Go Cutter, which is part of the Ready, Set, Go,
Right.
which is on sale today, 25% off. Or if you're looking to upgrade, the Go Big is also 25% off
that's
today.
right. If you've got to go,
Yes.
this is a great time to get that Go Big.
Look, it'll just fold up like that, or it will work with our Studio Cutter with the appropriate adapter.
That's right.
So we're gonna give it a little love, slide this mat, don't lift, because static is so static. Our team would tell you it's freezing cold, but mostly it's staticky. Okay, and then these are my high school colors, so let's put them here and show you how they go.
Here and show you how they go. And when you look at those, you're like, well, they don't line up. But look what happens when you put them right sides together.
Yeah.
They line up perfectly. They show you where your 1/4 inch seam allowance is, and when you sew that then and press it open, it is going to fit perfectly, and you have just saved even more time because you don't have to go back and trim.
Right. So here's one of those finished blocks that I made, and then I actually put 4 of them
You
together.
put 4 of them together
Look
here.
how fun that is. It
This
kind of
is
gives
really
this great-
fun.
And again, my high school colors.
And you can put this together different ways.
Right.
You know, if we put this down and then
We could
take
change
this
the
one,
blocks around.
Right, we could change this around. So if that one goes like that, then we're going to have an X on top
Yes.
and build the next one. It just makes really, it's a simple shape, it's easy to work with, and it's going to give you some great design options.
Now you have a pro tip, because here's our tip for you, first of all.
Yes.
This is the biggest block I would ever take to a party for people to sign.
Yes.
But mostly you might want to think about taking single blocks, and then once everybody's signed them, sew them together. What you don't want to do is create that whole big quilt top and then have somebody make a mistake and try
Oh,
to scratch it out
so
and
true.
create
So
a little
true.
block. So this is super cool.
This is what I would do. So this is what I like to do. I like to use just the single block. So if there is a problem, it's easy to change it out. And then you don't want anybody sewing or signing in your seam allowance because
Yes.
then you're not going to see it. But if
That was
if
so many
everybody
S
who
words.
comes, it was a lot of S words. If everybody who comes to your party isn't a quilter, they're not gonna get that.
Yeah.
So take your painter's tape and just mark that off, and you can, if you want to, you can even wrap it around the edge. They're not gonna know the difference.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that here. And then you can have them laid out for everybody to sign. That way you know they're not gonna sign in your seam allowance, and it's gonna be ready for you to sew into the quilt, and it's gonna be really easy for you just to pull that off when you're putting it together.
Oh, see, that's a brilliant idea. I think I'm going to use that from now on, because that's you're right. Sometimes people write big messages.
Right, and they think that it's all gonna be seen.
Right.
Because so far, we haven't converted everyone in the world to be quilters.
I know, we're working
We're
on
working
it.
on it.
We're working on it. All right, you know what else comes to mind when I think about graduation
What
quilts?
is that, Miss Pam?
T-shirt quilts.
Oh, yes.
Does your kids not have a bazillion T-shirts?
So many T-shirts.
Yeah, AccuQuilt
So
has
many.
this amazing sister company called Memory Stitch. We call them Mem Stitch for short.
Yeah.
And they actually specialize in T-shirt quilts.
Yes.
Which is so cool because they take out all the hard work of making
great.
that quilt. And they do it with super cozy fabric. And take a look, we have a great video of what they do. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's such a great video.
Yes.
And listen, I've had Memory Stitch do a quilt for me of the quilts, T-shirts I got when I traveled.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
was so fast and so easy, and they're just phenomenal at what they do.
Well, Lynn's had some made also. She's got some Memory Stitch quilts she's had made. And let's bring her over so she can show them
Okay,
off.
come on in, Miss
Come on, Lynn.
All right, it's great
Look
to
at
be
that.
back.
Oh,
So I
there
wanted
you
to
go.
show you this one. So this is a great example of a quilt made by Memory Stitch.
Yes.
And so it's a super easy process, just like on the video, where you just, first, the hardest part's probably selecting your T-shirts.
Right.
Probably, yeah.
Right.
And then you can choose to either cut them down yourself, or you can have us cut them down.
Right.
And then you get this amazing t-shirt quilt at the end.
And the back, look at this fab. It's called Cuddle fabric, and it's phenomenal.
Oh,
it
it's
is
so
so
soft
soft and
so
beautiful.
warm.
And Lynn, it's true that you can have the stitching done or just keep it plain.
Yes, absolutely.
whichever
Lots
one
of
you want.
options.
Lots of options to do. And do they come in different sizes?
They do. So whether you have 4 shirts or 64 t-shirts,
Wow.
we can make a t-shirt quilt custom for you.
Wow. Now, you had a T-shirt. I'll take this one from
Okay.
you. You had one made for your son.
Yes, we have it right back here. So this is actually an example of our fuzz monster
Everybody should have a fuzz monster.
quilt. And so what's great about that and the difference is it has the minky fabric as the sashing.
Ah, there we go.
So it has this great, just a great feel to it. And
Oh.
this is my son's from his high school graduation.
What a great memory.
I love that.
Great gift.
That's
So,
awesome.
Loved it.
Oh, perfect.
All right.
Totally.
All right,
So
I will send you back
thank
with
you.
this.
All right.
Thanks for sharing,
ladies.
Lynn. That's right.
Now, Erica, should we introduce our experts and the challenge they're doing for us today?
Yes, indeed, Pam. Okay, so today, since we are cheering dads and cheering grads,
There we
I'll
go.
get it right, and honoring our dads, although we want to honor all of them,
We
right?
do.
Okay, so we're good. We challenged 2 of our experts to make a special project for each.
First up, we have Marianne. Now, Marianne has been sewing since she was 8 years old. And before using AccuQuilt, she could only make 3 to 4 quilts a year. But now she is a quilting artist full time and creates dozens of projects each year. Marianne has taken the challenge of making a project for a graduate.
Yes.
Okay?
All right, next up we have Jeannie, and she's been using AccuQuilt since 2008. She's an active member of several quilting guilds. She'll be making a project for a father or a father figure. Now, we'll be checking in with them here shortly to see what they're working on. Jeannie looks like she already has some pretty creative things going.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Those are cute projects in the back. And I can't wait to see what our experts have in store for us for their inspiration. But before we check in with them, I thought it'd be fun to share another idea for a great gift for the dad or grad in your life.
Great idea, Pam. Now, quilters, I think that our most versatile dies that we have are really our strip cutters. We have dies that cut strips anywhere from 1 inch all the way up to 6.5 inches. And one of those strip dies gives you even more options because it has 3 widths of strip. 1, 1.5, and 2 inches. With the 1/4 inch seam allowances, those are gonna finish at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5. Now, when I was thinking about projects for dads and grads, I immediately thought about this die.
Right.
Because it just can be used for so many memory projects with things like some other fabrics, like men's shirts or kids' clothes or jeans or even men's ties.
Oh, yes. And Erica, it's a good reminder to our customers that our dies can be used for more than just cutting quilter's cotton. You can always cut 6 layers of good quilting cotton, but you can do flannel and felt and denim and wool
All
and
kinds of
cork and
things.
minky. I'm going to tell you to cut with 1 or 2 of those layers.
That's right.
Now, I love the idea of using this die for something like a denim quilt
Oh,
to
yeah.
send your grad off to their first college dorm room. Or, like you said, maybe something really unique out of men's ties.
Okay, but there is a trick to using men's
There
ties.
is.
This is the voice of experience. Many ties quilters are made out of silk and rayon.
Yes.
And they are cut on the bias, which means they are very wibbly wobbly. Okay, so you want to apply a stabilizer to the back of them before you cut them on your dies.
Because otherwise, forever, they'll be wonky.
Oh, forever, and they'll be so difficult to sew.
Yep.
Trust me.
Now, thinking of Father's Day coming up, I'm actually working on a project for my husband out of old dress shirts.
Yes.
And I brought some into the show today, and we're going to show our quilters how we cut on this multi-strip die. So basically what we did is we just deconstructed those shirts.
Right.
We just cut them up into shapes and pieces. I'm going to tell you to keep like the sleeves. There are lots of fabric on those sleeves.
Oh, there's so much fabric.
Make
to
sure
use.
you take those buttons off before you run it through a
Before.
cutter.
And the plackets and the pockets
all of those
and all
things.
of those things.
Okay, so I have just 4 different layers of fabric here. Notice I just measured from side to side at 1/4 inch, and then I just rough cut my fabric. This is on a 6x24 die board. So Erica, what cutters will it fit in?
This is going to fit through any of our Go cutters and Studio with the appropriate adapter. So you can do this with a Go Me. It's great. And you brought some of your first experimental projects, didn't you?
I do, right here. So these are kind of fun. Let's talk about these.
Okay.
So what we did was we took those strips and cut them up and made pot holders. And pot holders are a great way to start.
They are.
Because then you can just practice sewing up
Oh
all
yeah,
of the
they're
scraps.
super simple. And you made pot holders because Ray Hiller is a heck of a cook, isn't he?
He is a cook. He made chicken pot pie for us for lunch.
And she brought me some too.
I did. Okay, see, here's all that static that you want to
Oh, yeah, there you go.
slide, don't lift. But now look, quilters, I have all of these great strips. And so, again, you could sew them together randomly.
Just mix and match them.
Yeah,
and-
just a really great way to upcycle. We're all about that here.
Yeah,
that
that's
upcycle.
great. That's fun. Great idea, Pam.
All right.
Ray doesn't watch the show or anything, does he?
No, he does. He won't remember. Father's Day is like in 2 months. Okay.
All right, I think we should move on and check in with our experts.
Let's do.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they're coming up with to celebrate our dads and our grads today. So Marianne, let's start with you. What ideas do you have for graduation gifts?
Hey quilters, Pam and Erica, it's great to be back in the studio. I wanted to share with you some party favors I'm making for the graduation and some gifts I'm going to be giving to make him a quilt. And I decided to use the 1, 1.5, and 2-inch combination strip die. And I made a drawing of this gray 3-tone quilt, which I really liked for a guy, but I said, you know what else can I do? I realized if I took the 2.5-inch strip die, I could then use the 1, 1.5, and 2 to make the various rows for Bargello. That's the 1, 1.5, and 2-inch strip die. So I'm set with my quilt. This is really great. I always like to commemorate things. So when my son comes home, I'm going to have this great little sign that I just cut out of my 2-inch letters that says, congratulations. It's simple, quick. I used foam, craft foam. I cut them out. I hot glued them on, and I have them, and they're small enough to put inside. Congratulations. The other thing I try to do when I'm working on a project, especially as one is a specific shape or set of shapes, and I try to work with them and make something. In this case, I decided to use the 12-inch cube corners and angles companion kits, and this is what I made. I made with parallelogram shape 16, I made him a frame. And I did use a 10-inch cube shape one in the back so I could slide a picture of myself into it for him. I then went, and as you might be noticing, I'm wearing this nifty bow tie. Well, I made this out of shapes 2 and 12.1, and it's a 3D bow tie, and I put a quilter's pin in the back. I also made him a matching mug rug using shapes 2, 11.1, and 12.1. So we're getting ready for this party, and we're going to look great. The next thing, in case you didn't see, I made him a graduation cap. Is this the coolest thing? I used the kite shape and the triangle shape, which I believe is 13 and 15. And then, don't laugh, I used the bowl cozy to make the hat at the bottom. Anyway, so we're ready for the party, and I need to make a few more gifts. Sign date books and things like that for graduation. So I decided to use the signature block. And I made this strip. It's 30 pieces, and it actually is designed to fit one pillow. So I can make a covered pillow cover for him that he could have all his friends sign when he gets up there or not. The other thing I found, which was really cool when I was surfing the internet, was this pillow lounger you can make. Look at this. I can sew 4 pillows together, just like the one I showed you, and make a signature lounger that he could keep in his room, and he can have all his friends sign. Isn't that fun? And it just, they come in, the pillows come right out, and you can wash it easily. I thought that was a great use of the signature die. The last thing I made for him to take with him to school was this pyramid. I decided to use shape 13. And I said, well, you know, he really needs something for his desk. So I made this little pyramid, and it has little pockets inside, and it has little storage pockets here. And this is made from 8 shape number 13, the isosceles triangle. And then I cut 4 for a base, and guess what? They fold up, so when he has to come home, he could just fold them up and put them in his suitcase. Now, that's not what I made him for his final gift. You're going to have to wait to see that reveal.
Oh, Marianne, I do love your bow ties.
Yes, indeed.
We didn't make ours, but hers is super cute.
Yeah, she came up with so many different ideas.
Yes. Don't forget, quilters, we're going to be asking you which project is your favorite after all of the final projects have been revealed. And get ready, because the one and only Ricky Timms will be joining us in just a few minutes.
That's right. So I don't know about you, but I'm ready to see more inspiration. So let's check in with Jeannie now and see where she's getting her inspiration from. Jeannie, what are you coming up with today for Father's Day gifts?
Well, ladies, I came up with a plethora of ideas of things that I could make and do for Father's Day. And the first you can see right behind me here, it's this lovely banner that I made. And I used the alphabet and the pennants die to do that, along with a 2.5-inch strip die. Then I thought, hey, I could make some cards for Father's Day. So here's some examples of some cards I made. This one I used that pennant shape once again for the shirt, and then I used the bow from the cookie decorations die, and a couple of small dots for the buttons. Over here I used the Rose of Sharon die to do the rosette here, and then this is the ribbon twist die for the bottom of the ribbon, and the alphabet die to get the dad on there. And then I made this card, which uses the new coffee and tea die. And to get that lovely mustache, I used the wings from the bird die. So that was an easy one to make. Some lovely cards. And since I'm making gifts, I thought, well, I have to have some bags to put them in. So I made another one over here that's the same as the card, so it's matching. And then I used the wedge die, and I just folded in the bottom to make it look like a tie, and put a little top on it that completes the shirt, and then the number 1 dad to match my banner hanging back there with a bear on it. So those have great places for you to put your gifts in for Dad on Father's Day. And then for the gifts to put inside with these cards and bags, the first I did was I made a couple of cozies that are with some really nice outdoor fabrics so that he would feel comfortable using them in the microwave. Remember, 100% cotton only in this, so that you can heat it up. Both the batting and the thread needs to be 100% cotton. So there he's got a couple of cozies for that. Then I made another one using that cozy die, and this one I used a stiffer foam batting. And this is for him to keep on his dresser at night, so he can put his watch in it and his pocket knife and maybe some change and keep everything nice and neat on his dresser. Then I made a little hanger for him for his easy chair, and this I made with the burr cloth die. I put an extra pocket in it, and it has a place for his remote to go. So that was another great little gift idea. And then so he has a place to hang his phone when he's charging it, I used the bib die. And I put an extra pocket on it, and this can just hang where it plugs in, and he's got a nice place to keep his phone charging up off the counter. And then, of course, I had to make a crown for him to wear on Father's Day that says number 1 Dad, and he's got a whole ensemble that he can use and enjoy, and we can celebrate Father's Day with him. I can't wait to show you what I've got for the challenge. So stay tuned.
Oh my gosh.
So many different ideas.
I love the bib, holding the phone
holding
to
the
charge.
phone,
I
yeah.
need that in my life. I do. But I love the fact that they're bags, because we talk about
Yes.
this all the time.
Those
Like, I'm
gift
going to give a
bags are great.
gift, and what do I need? All right, Erica, before we go any further, let's introduce our very special guest. He's a gift. Ricky Timms is online. He's going to tell us a story about quilting with his dad.
I think that's just what we need. Hello, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky, how are you?
I'm doing very well. I have a little bit of laryngitis.
Oh, do ya?
Yeah.
Okay, are you doing okay in the snowstorm? Because I hear there's a blizzard your way.
We have a snowstorm that came in. I had snowstorms all winter long, never lost power. Now we have a spring snowstorm that's not very bad, and the entire southern Colorado has no power. So if my phone dies right now, I don't have any power, but I'm using the cell signal to come to you right now.
You're a rock star. Thank you for doing
Appreciate
that.
it. So, Ricky, you've got an interesting story that relates to quilting that involves your father. Could you share that with us?
Yeah, and I'll do it as fast as I can. And it's absolutely a fabulous story. I got an old 1955 Sears Kenmore sewing machine from my granny in 1991, and I decided I would make a Western shirt to go two-stepping in. And I told my mom and dad that that's what I was going to do. Also, my dad had retired, and I gave him some stained glass materials, thinking he could do that as a hobby. So on this particular weekend, I had gone to the Cloth World store and I had looked at the men's shirt patterns, and I decided that this was going to be about the stupidest thing I could ever do. And I didn't want to be seen in public in this shirt. And as I was leaving, I saw a rack of quilt books. Now, this was like a Cloth World. I mean, this is not a quilt shop.
Right.
So I didn't know any quilters. I just bought this book and I started making my first quilt. So on Saturday, I called my dad. Now, this is where it gets crazy. My mom had a sewing machine. She had a Singer from like 1962. And I called my dad and I said, so Dad, how's the stained glass doing? He says, no, I'm not doing that. I broke some glass out on the concrete and I was barefooted and I'm okay, but I just decided I wasn't going to do that anymore. And I says, well, what are you doing with your time? He says, well, I'm making a quilt. I kid you not. I started making a quilt and my dad started making a quilt the same week in the summer of 1991. And we did not discuss this in advance. And my dad continued to quilt all the way up until we lost him in 2015. He made quilts and more quilts. And that's what I have behind me here are some of my dad's quilts.
Oh, Ricky,
my
what
gosh.
a fabulous story. Share some of those quilts with us that your dad made. We'd love to see them.
All right. So he really liked to use my hand-dyed fabrics. So
Gosh.
this is, yeah, he really loved that because the fabrics could never go upside down, right? Because they didn't have a right or wrong side.
Yeah.
Right.
And this one, he actually used some prints because I think he went to a quilt show and like you're doing giveaways today, he won like a charm square pack. And so he incorporated those into the quilt
Good
as well.
job,
Isn't that
Good
great?
job.
Dad.
Way to use your stash. All right.
I still have probably 20 quilt tops that we still have to get quilted.
So did he have a huge stash? Like
Well,
a fabric?
No, he did not have a huge stash. As a matter of fact, he didn't have color sense, and I'm being honest, not rude. So because he would just use my Fruit Loops, just every color under the rainbow, it got to where I would put a stack of my hand-dyed coordinated fabrics in a plastic bag. And I said, Dad, the next time you start a quilt, just use these. Don't use anything else. And this would be a brown and green quilt, or the next one would be a red and purple and orange quilt, or the next one would be just cool green. So I gave him his fabrics and kind of helped him on the way.
So there's the tip, quilters. If you can't pick out color, check out with Ricky.
call
Timms.
Ricky,
Call
yeah.
Ricky. He'll
That's
help you.
right. Give me a call.
Yeah. Okay, now these are amazing stories and a really great quilt, but you have some other exciting things to share with our viewers today, don't you?
I do real fast. First, I want everybody in the whole wide world to know about Lizzie Albright and the
I
Attic
saw
Window.
that book.
I'm excited. Yes.
I'm excited. So you guys, I don't want to give you the whole story. It is about a little girl in 1964. She's 10 years old, but this is Harry Potter meets the Wizard of Oz meets Alice in Wonderland. And it not only is it about a little girl, we ended up having a companion quilt that goes with it. So you definitely want to check out Lizzie Albright in the Attic Window. Read it with the youngsters in your life. It's a middle grade book, but so is Harry Potter.
Right.
So it's a book for all ages. And you can see it's a serious fiction novel.
That's wonderful.
So that's one. That's number one. Number two, this is brand new, you guys. This is less than 2 weeks old. This is my new CD. This is contemplative music. It's great for the sewing room, but it is meditative, contemplative, easy music, and 100% me. I have no other musicians on this album.
Beautiful.
So it's called Alone with My Thoughts, and I really, really, really am excited about that.
Because you're an amazing musician. I've heard you play. You're amazing. And do you have one last thing about a class?
Yeah, so I'm doing my online quilt luminarium now. It's virtual. These are events that I used to do around the country with, 300 or 400 people at a time sometimes. Well, now I'm doing them virtually. So people can't get to a city where I'm going to. And of course, I haven't during COVID. But internationals, especially that might be watching, you can go to letsquilttogether.com. And that's a lot of words, but letsquilttogether.com and register and read all about Quilt Luminarium, which is a 3-day online event. I would just love to see everybody attend.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's
that
great.
That sounds exciting.
Oh.
And since you can't go anywhere today, that's a great way to teach us online.
Yes.
Hey, Ricky, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your Father's Day story or your father's story about quilting.
Yes.
And it's always so much fun to see you.
We'll
You're
hope to
welcome.
see you
And
again.
goodbye and hello and goodbye to all my friends at AccuQuilt. I love you guys.
Thanks,
We love
Ricky.
you too. Stay safe out there in your
stay
storm.
warm.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye, Ricky.
Bye.
Oh, that's amazing.
That story is great.
Okay, I love the story about the fact that his dad had no color sense.
I
Right?
know.
So here's
But
your fabric.
Here's your
Go home.
fabric, Dad, really.
I wish Ricky Timms would say, Pam, here's your fabric.
Here's your fabric. Go home and make something. That's right.
All right.
Now, Ricky has designed a handful of dies for AccuQuilt.
He has.
And those are available to purchase at AccuQuilt.com. So be sure you check those out as well.
Yeah, and hey, quilters, don't forget, our videos live on our Facebook page and our website. So if you missed that little interview with Ricky, you can come back and watch it again, and he'll talk about where you can find
It's
his
worth
products.
watching again.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I can't wait another minute. Let's see what our
Yes.
experts have come up with for their inspirational projects.
Yes. Okay. Let's check in with them now. Now, Mary Ann, what did you come up with today?
I decided to use the pickup truck for my final reveal. Now, this has nothing to do with any of the other gifts I made other than it's another gift for my son for his graduation. I used to own a blue pickup truck, and he always said to me, Ma, I want that pickup truck when I grow up. I decided to surprise him and make him his very own blue pickup truck. I used the pickup truck die and a few of the strip cutters, and I made this really cool little pickup truck. And you know what's neat about it? The wheels turn, okay, and the back lift gate comes off if you wanted to. So there you go. The pattern is available on a download at AccuQuilt, and that is my Go 3D pickup truck.
Oh my gosh.
truck.
And she used Pam's pickup truck
Pam's
die.
pickup truck, and
Yep.
it's blue.
It is. And our patterns for our final projects will be on our website here in a couple of days.
Yep.
Yep,
Hang
we'll have it
tight.
up.
We're getting them.
All right, Jeannie, what are you sharing with us today?
So this is the challenge piece that I made for Dad. And it is a wall hanging using the crossed canoes die. And I also used a lot of applique dies. The camper, the truck, the Northwoods medley, and the Sea Life medley. I hope you enjoy my challenge piece.
Oh my goodness.
gorgeous.
Those ideas
Oh my
are
gosh.
so great. All right.
Okay, so these are all beautiful. It's going to be a tough choice. They're very different, but both great projects.
And I'm glad that we don't have to choose.
We don't have
so
to
Quilters
choose.
voting is now open. If you're watching via the registration link, the voting box is in the chat section
right.
just below where you type.
And if you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube, just type your favorite in the comment section, and we'll have someone tally them at the end of voting.
Yes. Now, while folks are casting their votes, how about we share some inspirational projects? Let's start with a trunk show.
Okay.
Lynn, why don't you start us off and show us what's
yes.
in today's trunk show?
All right.
So this is kind of a special project. This is called the Go Buttons and Blessings Throw Quilt.
And there are no buttons on it, but the reason we call it that is because these are old shirts,
Yes.
which I think is really great. So make sure you take those buttons off before you start. And
Right.
look, Erica, just half square triangles.
They're just big half square triangles. I think this is with our 12-inch cube.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a 12-inch cube yet by now, I'm sure you know you need one.
Yeah, 25% off.
Very quick and
That's
easy
fun.
project.
Really, don't you think? Gosh.
Absolutely. All right,
Okay,
these
so-
are fun.
Ooh,
Okay,
these
Lynn,
are
talk to these about.
the scrappy tablet sleeves.
Yeah, isn't this great? What I love about this one, so you've got the Carefree alphabet that
Right.
they've used for Dad, great gift. But I love that this one has the little crazy quilt block. The
Oh,
6-inch
so does this
finish.
one. Yeah.
Oh, how
Very
fun.
cute.
Yeah, this is cute. These are in my high school colors. And to 2025, I'm sure Oakley's doing something then. But look, you can open it up, and inside you can put your little tablets.
I
Yeah,
love that.
That's really a great project.
It really is, and a great gift.
Those are fun. I like those.
Okay, here's a great example of a signature.
Oh, this is the graduation signature throw quilt, and we've got a little signature right down here.
Yes, to show you.
This is that same block we were talking about.
Yes,
so this
that I
is
made.
our signature block, and then the two, and these kind of look like shirts too, don't
I think
they?
they probably are, just old dad shirts. So what a great idea for dads for
Yeah.
Father's Day as well.
Oh, this is cute.
Right, those memories. This is a great one.
It's always fun when you don't, I mean, it's fun to buy fabric too, but it's fun to be able to recycle and upcycle fabric.
Right.
Upcycling there.
Oh, this is my favorite. See, because I'm a Central High grad.
Yes.
And our colors were purple and white, so I feel like this is mine.
It is. It could totally be Erica, but we love a pillow. And the great thing about this was we used our Carefree alphabet, right? Those 3-inch letters. But they just did raw edge stitching around the letters. They didn't use our embroidery download. And then they did the cross hatches, which I love.
Show us the little secret on the back.
All right,
Lynn.
so this pillow pattern is designed with the sleeves, so you could also take the pillow out and you could use it as a wall hanging.
I
Look at
love
that.
So lots of options.
If it's missing, we'll know where it went.
Yes, me. Okay, and that was the Love Lines pillow. Again, I don't think I said that.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, bench pillow time.
Oh, bench pillow. So this is the Explorer bench pillow. So it has Pam's pickup truck and the camper. So who won our 2 dies here? This is a great idea.
Oh, yes.
Yep. And then this is the Trees from the Northwoods medley.
Right.
And what shapes do you have over there, Erica?
Well, okay, so this is from our mix and match. So our background's that. So we've got shape number 6. That's the square on point. And then our friend shape number 5 is what goes on the corners. This would be shape number 1. And then these flowers, if I'm not mistaken, are from the round flower.
They are. And to make mountains, there's a die for that. This is triangle and a square from the companion
Oh,
set.
that's right.
Angles.
That's
Look
fabulous.
at how fun that is.
So this is a great one to use. You mentioned earlier, Erica, the free embroidery downloads.
Yes,
Yes.
it would be. Okay, and that was the Go Explore bench pillow. And next up is the Log Cabin in the Woods.
So this is actually a project that I have at home that's almost done. It just needs quilted. So the great thing about this was it uses the log cabin die. Quilters, there is no die police. You don't have to always make a 12-inch block. So this one, we used the 6-inch square, which came from the 12-inch cube. Lynn, wouldn't you say most of our applique shapes would fit in that 6-inch square?
Yes, most of them are sized
Yeah,
to
to
fit
make
there.
that work. And then we just built out from around it. So a great way to use up your scraps, use up your stash. And again, that Northwoods medley.
But you could use this for other applique dies as well. You could have gnomes in the woods.
Gnomes for days.
Gnomes in the woods. You could have flowers in the woods.
You could do 4th of July and do stars.
Stars in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what a great quilt.
Yep,
That's fun.
wonderful. Okay, here's another pillow idea.
Oh, this is the Adventure On pillow.
And the thing that's great about this is this fabric right here is wool. So we've cut our wool, pre-fuse your fabric.
Yep.
And just do 1 layer at a time, and then just add it to your shapes. Again, this is that triangle and a square.
Yeah, and I had to reach out and like touch them and pet them at first
Make
because I
sure
wanted
they
to
were
see what
working.
they were. Yeah.
And you want to show us the back line?
Yeah, so this is another example. I love these pillow patterns where that gives you options about,
Yes.
you know, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
put your pillow form in or use it as a wall hanging or even a table runner.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, cute table topper. Yeah.
Table topper.
I am embracing the whole pillow thing these days. Though, I
Pillows
have
are
to admit.
important.
That's right. Okay. Oh, yes. This is the Go Cube 8-inch Star Illusion pattern.
So instead of that 12-inch cube companion corners, we use the 8-inch. So it made it a little bit smaller, but it gives that stretch stars. I love
Yes.
this. And the 30s reproduction fabric is phenomenal.
So cute in this, but I love how they're not all white. Some of them are solid colors, some of them are a print. It's just fun.
Yeah. Have you ever made stars like this, Lynn, in a quilt?
I haven't, but I've got a couple of graduations coming up, so I think this is a great pattern to use that for.
Get you
Yeah.
started. Wonderful.
All right,
All right.
I'm taking this one with me.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Give you
All
a
right.
little
We'll
inspiration.
know where to look for it.
All right, quilters, voting is closed. So our team is going to start tabulating those votes.
Perfect.
All right, our team is done counting, and we're going to see who won our inspirational challenge today. Is it Marianne with her 3D pickup truck?
Or Jeannie with her Go Father's Day wall hanging project. They were so different, but they were both great projects.
They were so beautiful, okay? But the viewers have voted, and today's winner is, drum roll, Jeannie! Congratulations, Jeannie! Okay, I do love that quilt.
I do too.
I love
it just
all
had
the
a little bit of
applique shapes.
everything.
And I love that she used cross canoes, because like canoes are outdoors, right?
And she's a big camper. She and her camper go out a
camps
lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
So the fact that she camps and sews makes me laugh. Congratulations, Jeannie. And thanks again to Marianne for using your Pam's pickup truck. Good
Now
job.
remember, the patterns for today's project will be available on our site soon, so be sure to keep an eye out for them.
There we go. Remember, our patterns will be available on our site soon, so keep on the lookout.
That's right, because with AccuQuilt, you have a ton of ways that you can cut time.
So you can quilt more. Thanks for joining us.
Bye. See you soon.
Thanks for watching our show. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and look for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday.
You can visit the events page on AccuQuilt's website for more details on upcoming shows. And while you're there, check out the blog for tips, tricks, tutorials, and inspiration galore.
And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time
so you can quilt more.